And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and always providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax planning, healthcare, nutrition, and so much more here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We strive to be your number one consumer advocate. It's all about helping you sort through a lot of your buying decisions and a lot of those types of things that are out there in the community. We want to help you. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win, and we'd love for you to engage with us. It's all about a two-way conversation here with our radio family, our TV show on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, on Binge Networks. You can find us out there on your smart televisions, as well as a big move coming up as well. We're moving to 860 The Answer. A big move for us here. We're really excited about that. AM 860 The Answer coming up in just a week or so to this new station for us, 860 The Answer. Real excited about that. Sunday, 102.5 The Bone on Sunday morning, 7 a.m. on 102.5 The Bone. And it's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Save our number in your phone.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And also bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. We want to help you win in any marketplace, and powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife and I own a real estate team here in Tampa Bay, helping buyers, sellers, and investors here in Tampa Bay. Let's go around the horn now. Let's make our introductions here in studio. Lindsay Cole, she's the Director of Clinical Services. Welcome in.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon.
Gulfside Healthcare Services. And thanks for coming in. So today you're going to give us a little overview?
Yes, a little overview of what we offer at Gulfside Hospice, as well as an overview of hospice services. Nice.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's good to get those definitions out there. I think there's so many misconceptions in that space. So yeah, thanks for doing that for us. We got Ashley Monteith in studio. She's a social worker as well. Gulfside Healthcare, welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. Absolutely. Yeah. So today we're going to talk more from the social worker side. You're actually going out in the fields.
Yes, I'm out in the fields quite often with a lot of our patients and families in their homes, in nursing homes, wherever they may be residing. So we have a lot of perspective on how to work as a team.
That's awesome. It's all about teamwork. And we got the chaplain in the house as well, Frank DiPronio. Welcome in.
You pronounced it well. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Hey, my pleasure. Yes. Thanks for coming in. And, that's a unique opportunity to, really, come into someone's life in a very important transitional stage.
It is very important. A lot of our patients really, that's when they really come to grips with the spirituality of life, because they know they're coming to the end.
Yes. That's a lot of questions coming for you. That's interesting. All right. So here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, great show lined up for you. Gulfside.org is the website for our partner here in studio today. We want you checking out the Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill, great restaurant, excellent food, very friendly wait staff. You got football games, all types of games on the screens there. New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets, and of course a deli as well. Home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. They're on Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. They got a Palm Harbor location. Excellent food. Online at LuckyDillDeli.com. All right, we're back here in studio. Also, big shout out for Caring for the Bahamas. We got our friends, quarterback show partner, former partner Juan Conchero. We got current show partner Captain Will Smith, Aviation. CaringForTheBahamas.com. These folks are pilots. They're friends of ours, and they are flying flights down to the Bahamas, bringing in those necessary supplies that they're looking for. CaringForTheBahamas.com. Also, our friend Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness. He has his dojo on Waters Avenue, right by the Veterans Expressway, where you can drop off supplies as well. They're all supporting. They're all coming together. And CaringForTheBahamas.com is that site. And Let's jump right into this. So we got a great lineup here. Lindsay Cole, starting with you, Director of Clinical Services. One of the questions we get is, what is the interdisciplinary approach, when it comes to Gulfside?
What the interdisciplinary approach is it includes all doctors, chaplains, social workers, advanced registered nurse practitioners, and nurses, as well as volunteers. And we all come together to best care for that patient. So we're not just caring for their patient's physical needs, but we're also caring for their emotional, spiritual, and psychosocial needs as well.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Those few sentences that you said really encompasses a lot. I mean, you look at, how complex we are as human beings, and then you throw in, diseases or accidents into the mix, and how, all of that comes together with, the end of life in some cases. So we're talking about Gulfside Healthcare Services here. So when it comes to that, how is it beneficial to the patient and the family, right?
What it does is it does a holistic approach to care for the whole patient. So that way we're not just caring for the patient, but we're caring for the family and the primary caregiver as well. So we're ensuring that everybody's needs are met while they're going through this difficult, life-altering experience.
Yeah, Lindsay, right on. And when you look at, the folks that are taking care of the loved one, they're making a lot of sacrifices too.
Very much so. And we have specialized programs. We actually have a caregiver support department that is dedicated towards supporting our caregivers and the families associated with the patients, which really helps in end-of-life care.
Yeah, end of life care. Now, and it's also not just the end of life, right? These are situations where you have home health care as part of your business. You can help people that have an accident or they're in a position where they need that help in home. They'd rather be at home, right?
Definitely. Gulfside Services has 3 separate business lines. We cover Gulfside Hospice, Gulfside Home Health, as well as Gulfside Palliative Care. Yes.
And so palliative care, what would you define that for our audience?
Palliative care is more a palliation of a pain or symptom management. So if you have a chronic illness or a chronic disease, where hospice care, the patient has a life-limiting illness of 6 months or less.
Okay. So that's great. Now, when you look at that, who pays for this? How does it get paid? Because I know there's a lot of misconceptions. Is there government programs? How does that side of it work? The economics work?
Mainly, it's covered by the patient's insurance, and if not, we do take indigent patients as well.
Okay.
And we do that with our charity programs that we have.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So when you look at that, we're talking with Gulfside Healthcare Services here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there on the website at consumerqb.com. Frank, question for you. As the chaplain on the team, you're looking at spiritual care, and what kind of spiritual care do you guys offer? Do the chaplains offer to the folks?
There's a variety, because it all depends on the patient and the family's spiritual background, their faith, where they're coming from. And so we go in and become a friend, talk with them, find out where they're coming from, depending on their faith. If they want us to contact their church, have one of their spiritual leaders come and talk with them, or we can do that. We offer prayer. Some want Bible reading, and some would want communion. Some just want to talk to the chaplain because they got things they want to get off their chest, so to speak. And so we offer all kinds. We even do marriages. We've had people that have been wanting to get married on the deathbed, and we've done that.
Wow, that's interesting. The lifelong partner, we didn't get married. I should have. I feel like I want to make it right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. You probably heard some pretty good stories too, huh?
Yeah, we hear quite a few.
Imagine being in that position, interesting. So you're the chaplain on the team. What else do you see? What are some of the misnomers from your perspective?
Well, one of the misnomers that I want to clarify is, as chaplains, we don't go in and, Bible thumper type people. We don't just pound people over the head. I like to approach each patient as a friend. Mm-hmm. And I tell them, I say, yes, I'm a chaplain, but I'm your friend. I'm somebody you could trust. I'm going to come and visit with you. And there are times where patients just ask us, can you just be here with me? I'm by myself and I'm afraid. And there are times I sit and just hold a hand until they fall asleep, and then just quietly leave.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting, man. So we're want to bring Ashley into the conversation here. Ashley, how do the hospice social workers, how do they help patients and navigating these different types of healthcare system? The system is so. I think even as an outsider looking in, it's like, wow, there's so much there, right?
Of course. And a lot of times our patients and families are coming to us after they've received a really significant diagnosis. So a lot of them are reeling from that and quite shocked about, what do we do next? Is treatment still an option? Am I looking at my last final days or weeks of my life? So a lot of times we just help navigate those questions. We help I'm able to give them resources that they might need to be able to continue to live at home and with comfort and dignity. And some other times when I walk into the house and they don't have that support available, then what does that look like? What are our next steps? Because there's healthcare is such a huge and complicated system sometimes.
Yes.
So I can help them with answering those questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions to be had, especially you got an injury, you got, maybe if it was some kind of an accident, you've got insurances, attorneys involved. It just gets to a situation where all of that's on top of already being, in some cases, a soccer mom or whatever the situation is for those families.
Right. So a lot of times I'm there at the bedside making phone calls with them, doing research online. Sometimes I don't know the answers, but I'm there to help figure it out with them.
Yeah, being on that human level.
Exactly.
You're getting down to that human level. I heard an interesting story. I teach negotiation and branding at the Realtor boards, and I love education, giving back. And there was an interesting story about the patient wanted to leave for whatever reason. They said, no, you can't leave. The patient wanted to leave, and he says, so the doctor comes in and actually says, hey, can I get you a glass of water? He gets the water, sits down, levels with them, and just asks the open-ended questions. Why would you want to leave? What's going on? And I got to run these errands. I got this and that. The original of the story was waiting on the lab reports to come back. I'm not waiting another day. The lab, so it was a story about having empathy. It was a story of understanding and asking the right questions, open-ended questions, instead of no, you can't leave. What makes you want to leave? Right.
Exactly.
It's all about how you frame it in a lot of cases when it comes to negotiations as well. But you're negotiating with clients every day, I imagine.
Every day. I think the whole team is. We want to, sometimes there's a lot of surface level things going on. There's a lot of chaos sometimes in the situation. So we try to just get a little deeper and see what are your actual needs? What are your concerns? How can we help you?
Yeah.
And like you said, every situation is different. We want to meet them where they are.
Absolutely. All right. Gulfside.org, Gulfside.org. When we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio. Lindsay Cole, Ashley Monteith, Frank DiPronio here in studio as well. As our feel-good story of the day coming up, Indiana man with Down syndrome gets billboard after raising thousands. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I know we know you have a lot of options, but we appreciate you staying with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Check out our book online, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We'd love for you to check that out. Kind of gives you an insight into our style, our life, and how we've really developed our show here with the Consumer Quarterback Show on Amazon.com. Check it out. We'd love for you to get your opinion on it. 861 Mandalay Avenue, hot property listing here in Tampa Bay. The Platinum MVP team, our premier sponsor for the Consumer Quarterback Show. 861 Mandalay Avenue. This is a gorgeous home. This property is 200 steps, and you are on the sugar sand beaches of beautiful Clearwater. Literally 200 steps. You're looking at dolphins swimming in your front yard, if you want to call it that, right? 2-bedroom, 2-bath on the beach, Clearwater, in a great neighborhood. You got celebrity neighbors there. Hulk Hogan's in the community. Lots of different folks are in that community there on beautiful Clearwater Beach. Check it out at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort, one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we're back here in studio helping you win. That's our goal. We want to make you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Today we're talking with Gulfside.org, Gulfside Healthcare Services. Lindsay Cole in studio. We got Ashley Monteith in studio, as well as Frank DiPronio, as well, the chaplain on the team here in studio with us today. So we talk about, I always like to ask our expert contributors, we got 50 plus partners, 80 different categories. We're talking about CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, solar companies, lots of different niche businesses, right? Self-defense. I think it's so big these days too. People don't underestimate, you do need to defend yourself a lot of times. So when it comes to those areas, I like to sometimes just open it up and say, give me a success story. I think that stories are so good. They go that further away. You know how they say a picture, is worth 1,000 words, right? I think a story for our medium here. We're on radio. Of course, we're on Apple TV, Amazon, Roku as well. But I heard, we might have a good story here, Frank. Give us something.
Wow. Good story. I think all the patients we deal with is a success story. Mm-hmm. But some of the patients that I most drawn to are patients who are by themselves.
Yeah.
And had a particular patient, the daughter was up north, and she took a turn, and she was ready to breathe her last, and by herself, had nobody there, and the daughter was concerned. So I did go and just sit next to the patient's mom, or to the daughter's mom, and just talked with her. She was non-responsive, but she was agitated. So as I talked with her, leaned over and talked in her ear, and just talked and prayed with her and held her hand, and you just see her settle right down and just settled. She closed her eyes, eventually fell asleep, and a few moments later she did pass on. But she had great comfort. And those are the stories I like. That's what makes what we do worth it.
Yeah,
you can bring them comfort when they're breathing their last.
That's huge, man. Do you feel, just curiosity here? I mean, do you feel a different presence in the room when you know that moment happened?
You do. I remember one time there was a gentleman just struggling to breathe, and he only had a nephew who was in the room, and I could see that the nephew was really struggling with this. And so I just leaned over the patient, and he and I got to know him. We met many times, and just talking to him and praying with him in his ear. You want me to pray with him? And just as I finished, the nephew was there, and he looked. He says, "He's gone." And sure enough, as I was praying, he just departed, and the nephew just gave me a big old hug and said, "Thank you." That was amazing.
Yeah.
You could sense it. You could feel it.
Yeah, you sense that appreciation, that gratitude, that empathy. It's a very, wow. I remember my grandma, in that situation, with hospice, and I was even a kid at the time. Just remembering those moments, it's like they really stick with you.
Mm-hmm.
you do remember them.
And that's our goal. Our goal is to bring comfort and peace right through to the end, and of course dignity. We want to give them dignity. That's the thing that concerns me. When I see patients that don't have anybody. I mean, that's a person there. That's not sad. Just a number. That's a person.
Yeah.
I want to stay there. I want to be there. I want to make sure that they know that there's somebody there that does care. And we do care. We care for our patients very much.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Gulfside.org, Gulfside Healthcare Services, Gulfside.org. Lindsay Cole, Ashley Monteith, Frank DiPronio here in studio. And yeah, you're right on point, Frank. I mean, it is, that's a human being that's different choices, different things have happened, lots of decisions in life to get you to that point where you are on your deathbed and there's a lot of decisions you could make, whether it's dietary or all the different things that could come into that play, right? But I think it's so sad when they're there by themselves. I mean, you see that happen. It could be a veteran that came back, had PTSD, was mean to his family, distanced himself. All those different scenarios play out. You see all those play out.
I've had that exact same thing.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. And the nice thing about interdisciplinary is that we support one another. We contact each other. We let each other know that what's going on with this patient. And then we work together as a team to help that patient and the family. The family. Our service doesn't stop when the patient passes. We continue to help with the family.
Wow. Yeah, that's such a big part of it. I want to go back to Lindsay as well, getting the family involved, helping, coach them through whether it's, bandages or, whatever those types of things, the knowledge that you're able to pass along to the family, that's worth its weight in gold.
It's huge. And that's the part of the interdisciplinary team that works so well is you have doctors and ARNPs in they're helping the family understand maybe why the wounds are deteriorating. Then you have the nurse caring for the wounds and teaching the family. And then you have a social worker and chaplain supporting the family spiritually and emotionally. So you have the whole care provided by the team. It's really a nice picture to have everybody supported and on the same page. And like Frank says, the interdisciplinary team always collaborates so each member is aware of what's going on with the patient and the family.
Yeah. What other type of programs are available for patients?
We offer multiple different programs. I don't know if you want to talk about some of those.
Sure, I definitely can. I know that Lindsay mentioned earlier our volunteers, and a lot of times in those cases where somebody is alone, is limited to the resources available to them, maybe can't go out shopping anymore because they can't drive, or they can't, they don't have anybody who's coming to visit them, their family's out of town. Our volunteer programs, we have an amazing team of volunteers that will go shopping for our patients. We'll just go and be a companion for them, play cards, watch TV together, whatever it might be. And also, when we are focused on the family too, sometimes those primary caregivers are there 24/7, and they just need a few hours to go out and get their nails done or go shopping or go to the doctor for themselves. So the volunteer can come and stay with the patient to allow the family to a chance to care for themselves.
Wow, we talk a lot about random act of kindness here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We always end our show with that, and we talk about that. So what an opportunity for you as a viewer, listener, go to Gulfside.org and talk about being a volunteer. I'm sure they can submit a form, ask to be a volunteer. That's something that you can do an hour a week, 2 hours a month, whatever it is. You come out, you help folks, you run some errands, you maybe, come into that. And just what a random act of kindness you got. Here's a story that our producer gave us. James said, there's a 15-year-old that takes care of his elderly neighbors. Check this out. Really cool story. So every day this 15-year-old boy checks on his neighbors who live across the street. Romy Mitchell been assisting Trent Joyner with groceries, cutting their lawn, whatever they need. So Joyner's daughter, Tiki, shared photos of Mitchell visiting a couple in the hospital when they had a medical setback. So just want to take a moment to recognize the sweet little fellow lives across the street from his parents. She wrote on Facebook, he checks on them every day, he's grown to love and care for them deeply. And so just another random act of kindness, something as simple as that can really make a big difference.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a few other things that we can do. I know you mentioned our veterans, and we have a lot of veterans who come on our service at the end of life. And it's so important to our team that we honor them. We take a moment to say thank you.
Yes.
Especially some of our veterans have never heard that before. So we have a special pinning ceremony that we do to our team can gather around them and just take a moment to say thank you and to recognize the sacrifice they made. And that is such a huge, I think, like you said, that act of kindness and recognition recognition for them is makes such a huge impact on the end of life
Yeah.
for a veteran going through that.
Yeah, it really does. All right. So parting words of wisdom. We've got about a minute left here. Give us some good stuff. Parting words or maybe a call to action. Go to the website, gulfside.org, and check it out. Get involved. Find out more about it.
Mhm. And to remember that hospice is not a place, it's a type of care.
Type of care. Yep. And your three, give me your three. You got hospice is one of your
Hospice, we have home health, and then we
health.
also do palliative care.
palliative care. So 3 different business lines of service for Gulfside Healthcare. And so hey, great stuff. Engage with the show. It's all about you thinking about how you can get involved with the show, and ultimately, go to the website, talk to them, let them know you heard about them here on the show. You heard the show, and great stuff. And just thanks for what you do. I think a lot of times we don't think the first responders that you guys are, in my opinion, are right there along with these guys. I mean, it's great what you do.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. And we'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got expert contributors coming in, Bottomzupp, Rick Nickerson, and more from our expert contributors. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you and show you our first-class service, the way that we work with our clients. The expertise that you get is bar none, the best, absolutely, in terms of negotiation as well. Certified negotiation expert. Check out PlatinumMVPteam.com. That is our website there, PlatinumMVPteam.com. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving. They do a great job, whether it's a local, long distance. They help packing, all types of good stuff. They're very highly reviewed online. I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are a first-class organization. They do a great job at Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Look them up online. They've got very high reviews. Big shout out to Brothers Easy Moving. We're moving to AM 860 The Answer. Big opportunity for us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're moving over to AM 860 The Answer coming up in just about a week. So we're going to be on the 26th. We're starting that at 4 o'clock drive time. Your 4 o'clock drive time hour. We're going to be on AM 860 The Answer. Very excited about that move. Quite an honor to be asked to move into that position with the Salem Communications flagship station. I'm talking about, it's the best that we offer here out of Salem Communication. Great lineup and lots of intelligent folks listening there at the AM 860 The Answer. All right, we got Rick Nickerson in studio now. Bottomzupp. Welcome back in, sir.
Man, it's great to be here. Always a pleasure. I appreciate what you do for the community, and your show provides such an outlet for people that are looking for other good people out there. And we're just a floor removal company that started off, with a machine and a dream many years ago. We're here in the local community. Yeah. We love your show. We love your format, and it's just a great opportunity to be here with you today again.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks so much for the kind words. We really appreciate that. And you brought a special guest in today from your organization. Maybe you should do the introductions for us. Hilda Huertas in studio.
I would love to do that. Oh my gosh, she is our right hand. She's the one that makes it happen. She's our first voice. The customer calls in. She's the one that makes it happen. She's the first and last voice in every deal that we make at Bottomzupp. It's Hilda Huertas. She's director of First Impressions. Hilda, why don't you say hi?
Well, hello, Brandon, and thanks for having me here.
My pleasure.
I am glad to be next to who I call my captain.
Nice.
As our co-veteran here.
Yeah, I love that. You guys have great chemistry, you can tell.
Yes, absolutely.
Great company. It sounds like that, from everything from your morning meetings you have with your team, from what you've talked about on the previous shows. You come in, you kind of set the tone for the day. You get everybody ready to go. They're ready to go into a game after that point, right?
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, because we're going out and we're taking a tough job and we're making it look real easy. And it starts with that first point of contact. We talk about that first point of contact and what that looks like. Everybody's got a mission statement. Ours is very simple. Mm-hmm. We want to provide quality floor removal and customer service at a price the customers can afford.
Right.
And to reach that objective in our communities, that we're now in 3 different communities, but Tampa Bay is where we all started. This is our home. Mm-hmm. But we've reached out. We're now in the Fort Myers area and Sarasota as well. We've got divisions down there. But we knew that we needed to reach out to people, and to do that, we decided to kind of do a major marketing blitz about 1.5 to 2 years ago. And we knew we've got a customer base. Those are the floor retail stores. They're everywhere. But we want, with the transition to the DIYers and the HGTV, do it yourself, the Home Depots, the Lowe's, all those people are doing it themselves, and we were missing out on that. And Hilda, we created her position so that she could be that first voice. When people call, we were missing all those phone calls. And to have her now, she's taken on such a great role, great responsibility. When you talk customer service, it's from point of sale all the way first conversation all the way to the end. She's that person for us.
Love it.
You know, she's my right hand. She's that first phone call I make. How are things going? What, you know, how's Facebook look? What are we, you know, what are the reviews saying?
Yeah.
And she handles and manages all that, including those phone calls each and every day.
Yeah. Hilda, tell us more about it. Tell us what you love about it.
I love the contact. I'm a people person.
Yep.
I'm an analyst by nature as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the phone calls that Rick is out in the field taking care of the customers that have already been established. For the most part, has always been the construction, the contractors, and so forth.
Yep.
So we're having a hard time. He was having a hard time with the DIYers, like he said. So we have the customers, the homeowners that are calling in and so forth. And when they're calling in, they're overwhelmed. They don't know the process. They don't know what's going on. And I calm them down. I take the time to explain how the process works, what can be done, what cannot be done. I set them up. The same thing with contractors that just heard about us from other businesses that already spoke to Rick. And they heard about us. They call in. So what do I do to get you guys on board? I want to work with you too. So-and-so said that you guys are great. And I said, yeah, we are, of course. So I calm them down too. I love talking to people. I love talking to contractors and to people. And I set them up with the documents that they need. I jump the gun with giving them what they don't know that they already needed. So that first impression, that last impression is always, is what's remembered.
Yeah.
So when I make that contact with them, I make sure that they're at ease, that they can call in, that they are comfortable with me, and they're, in essence, comfortable to speak to all the managers after that.
Yeah.
They have all the documents at hand right up front. I get everything to them, to the customer and to the contractor, before they even need to ask for it. A lot of times I hear that they're happy that they don't have to chase us down for those documents when they're going through an audit.
Yeah.
Because I set them up and I send it to them right up front.
Yeah. I love it. It's one of those things in business too, to have, you have, I think back over my career when I was an account executive, out in the field, making the things happen, the sales guy in the field. And then you have your account manager. That's the one that you send the files to, they get it done. So you can see that breakdown across a lot of different businesses and verticals, depending on industry. But it's so important to have that cohesive team. It's much like a quarterback out there. You got the receivers, you got the linemen, you have your whole team of folks that are working together, it sounds like. So bottomzupp.com. Check out bottomzupp.com. If you just joined us, we're talking with Rick Nickerson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as Hilda Huertas. She's the director of First Impressions. And I love everything from our Keller Williams office also uses that name
you
for
were
the
mentioning
position.
that.
Director.
And how catchy is that? I mean, people, when you talk customer service, Brandon,
yes.
that's the name of the game. And it's right in my mission statement. We want to provide quality floor removal.
Yep.
And quality customer service, which if you're going to do that, you've got to have a voice.
Yes.
And Hilda's our voice. And we're proud of that. We're glad to have her. She is our quarterback at Bottomzupp. And
I like that.
She's our go-to gal. And there's usually nothing, or she keeps us in line. You know, hey, we didn't document this correctly, or we missed this one. She's that person for us. And boy, she's been a blessing. And our business has improved because we put this position in place that says to the customer, we care and you're important.
Yeah, checks and balances in place.
There's something like dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And when you're in the middle of a project with project managers or salesmen and they're out there doing what needs to be done, it's very hard to keep track of dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So that's what I do. Yeah. I do that for the homeowner. I do that for the contractor. I do that for my boss. I do that for my coworkers.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it. And that's what makes the transition so smooth. And that's what makes the customer happy. Makes the contractor happy, makes the customer know that they can be at ease, that it's okay to slip. I'm here to find it and to take care of it. Absolutely.
And so when we're talking about Bottomzupp, it's not like the emotions aren't high in a lot of cases, especially for the residential deals, even the commercial, because it's somebody's business that they're taking time away from. They're changing out the flooring. Rick and his team comes in. They have these machines. They have all types of great training where they come in and they basically rip up the flooring. So you got dust everywhere. So you're entering people's lives at a high, transactional, from a transactional perspective, at a high stress time. As much as I am when I'm I'm selling someone's house or buying an investment property, you're coming into all these elevated emotions already.
And that's customer service.
Yes.
And that's creating an environment where they can sit back and take a deep breath and go, okay, they got us. They've got us.
Yeah.
They're professional. They call people back. They're going to follow up. They're going to make sure that you're prepared before you go into the project. And we've talked about this many times before. We're going into, like your line of work, this is their biggest investment most of the time. This may be their only one, or it might be repeat customers. But whatever the case may be, we're going into one of their biggest investments, where their home is, where they live, where they raise their kids, where their family is, and they know they're going to be disrupted. But to what level? And that's where we want to step in, make sure we inform them that they're knowledgeable, they understand how the process works. We go in and not just say what you're going to do, but do what you say.
Yeah.
And without a director of first and last impressions, you can't provide those services to a customer without having someone like Hilda that does care and that's there to cross all the T's and dot the I's daily.
That's right. Yeah, the last impressions too is like asking for that referral.
I wanted to throw that in there.
Getting into that follow-up. So I like where you're at with that, Rick. So when we come back to, I want to ask you a success story. I want to hear a recent success story, something good out there happening with Bottomzupp, and also so stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Don't touch that dial. More from our expert contributors. We got a feel-good story of the day coming at you as well, and our feel-good story, our random act of kindness stories that we always talk about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after the short break.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. And got a couple of hot listings I'll let you know about here. This property at 1645 Parker Boulevard in Odessa's gorgeous home. This is a gated community, just over $500,000 asking price, and it's on in a lake community. So you got boating access. There's a boat ramp in the community. Just a gorgeous home. 1645 Parker Boulevard in Odessa, Parker Point Boulevard in Odessa. That is 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, and this property has a large 3-car garage. Just a gorgeous home. Check it out at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives. Gorgeous property. It's one of those few hotels where you can actually step out of the room. You literally roll the slider back and you step out, and there's a sidewalk, and then there's nothing but sand. I mean, it's gorgeous. Right on Treasure Island. Beautiful property. And they also have Sloppy Joe's restaurant and beach bar right on site as well. Great times over there to be had at the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. In studio today, Rick Nickerson, Bottomzupp, Hilda Huertes as well, Director of First Impressions from Bottomzupp as well. And it's interesting. I saw a pretty cool post from one of my friends on Instagram this past week, and I just want to read it because it kind of plays well with what we're talking about here. It bodes very well. But it talks about how there's nothing sexy about owning a business. It's hard work, 7 days a week, failure, mistakes, skipping time with friends, on and on. And then it goes down to believe. It says, don't believe the hype on the gram. Here are the facts. There are 627,000 businesses started every year. Okay, 627,000 businesses starts every year. And I'm assuming this is America, US. 22% of those businesses fail after the first year. Okay, so 22% of 600,000, that's a couple 100,000 almost, right? Now, you've got after the first year, and then 50% of those fail within the most 5 years. Okay, within 5 years, 50%, 615 or 315,000 businesses fail after 5 years on that original number of 627,000. And then a reason being, number one reason being cash flow. Cash flow. So it's either, not believing 100% of what their core of their marketplace, what they're providing, so cash is king. They talk about cash is king. And a lot of times I think it's what traps a lot of business owners is they invest in the wrong things. Instead of investing back in their company, equipment, supplies, marketing, those types of things, they're investing in the new watch that came out, the cool watch, or the car that they, want to boast to their friends about. I mean, so it comes down to 50% of businesses after 5 years fail. Yeah, interesting fact.
And it's so true. And that's my senior level. I went to the Baptist Harvard, Hardin-Simmons University, and my Dr. Flores, one of my renowned professors there, told me that statistic that if you're planning on, all you smart guys out there and gals that think that you're going to start a business, let me tell you a little fact. Most of you are going to fail in your first year. And I went, what? But it's a true story. And it's a lot of it. And the cash flow, you've got all those people. The road to hell was paved with good intentions. Yep. And, those people all had great intentions, great ideas, and really believed in what they were doing, but didn't do their analysis, didn't do their demographic research.
That's
and
right.
Their price points were incorrect and their cash flow was improper.
Yeah.
And we've had to address that. I mean, we're a young business. We're now 10 years, but we started off with a machine and a dream, and I knew that slow growth was the way to go.
Yep.
Slow and steady. When we build up our customer client base, we'll buy another truck, we'll buy another machine, and then we'll, and it was 1, and then it was 2, and then it was 3, and that's it. Slow and steady wins the race, and people blast off and try and overinvest or invest in the wrong things, and they end up failing because the amount of money going out, the money's going out quicker than it's coming in.
Now
it's
just is it close to
fact.
40, 50 trucks? I remember last time you mentioned.
We've got 20 trucks.
Wow.
We've got 20 trucks in 3 locations.
Yeah.
So we're doing,
awesome.
in the Tampa Bay area, we're doing from 9 to 12 jobs a day.
Yeah.
And we just started, like I said, I'm living up to what I believe in, which is slow and steady growth in those new demographic regions, which is Sarasota and Fort Myers. We only have 2 or 3 jobs going a day.
Yeah.
We're going to grow that, but it's slow and steady.
That's right.
We're at a different rate because we've been in this marketplace place for 10 years now.
Exactly.
So we're going to build it the same way, and hopefully the Lord will bless us with great customers that we have, our customer base, and the word will spread.
That's awesome. By the way, LaBelle, just east of Fort Myers, that's where I'm from.
Is that your old stomping grounds right there?
LaBelle
oh my God, I love downtown Fort Myers, man.
Yeah, that east side of town is just beautiful, right on the Caloosahatchee River.
It's beautiful there.
Gorgeous.
It's a little hidden gem. Yeah.
They renamed the road, the main road in LaBelle that goes through it, named Cowboy Way, after our high school team that went to state championship game.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyways,
small world.
You just had to throw that in there. So you know that.
Yeah.
So Hilda, give us a recent success story. Give us something good here.
So we had a new construction company. Can I say the
names? No, we don't.
Okay.
No, it's a new construction company.
New construction
that we had
company.
Here locally, right?
Okay.
He calls me. We build everything. I explained to him how he worked. We were very excited. Got a nice big job for him.
Yep.
We went out. We did the job. Job was great, but we broke a glass at the customer's home.
Okay.
So quickly, if anything happens, when I do a follow-up call, there was a broken glass. Okay, we're gonna take care of it right away. Like
not a drinking
we
glass.
always do.
No, not a drinking glass. A sliding glass door.
Okay.
It was a large glass.
But it wasn't just any glass. It's a special size and so forth. But like anything else, we're gonna address it right away. Not a problem. I spoke to the homeowner, spoke to the customer, which was the construction company, and we got it ordered. So, of course, Rick stepped in and he spoke to one of his companies that he deals with, special glass, to make sure that this gets expedited and handled right away, because that's how we do right away with our customers.
Absolutely.
Well, there was a back order. Okay, so I call a customer and I tell him, hey, there's a back order. This is the new date that they're giving me. Okay. Well, that date comes around and I put it on the calendar like clockwork. I checked 2 days prior to make sure the shipping is in process. They tell me it was delayed another 2 weeks.
Oh.
So I call our client again, the contractor, and I tell him it was delayed another 2 weeks.
Uh-oh.
And he takes a deep breath. He says, I understand. I know how this works and so forth. And again, I follow up 2 days prior. It's in. Okay, we get all the arrangements done. We go out there. It's the wrong door.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
So,
Typical.
At this point, I send all the information to my captain and I go, your turn to call.
Yeah.
I need him to know, and I send them all the documents because I'm a CYA kind of person, and we'll talk about those initials later.
Yeah.
I want him to know that we're not giving him the runaround, and he knows, but he wants to make sure that he's telling his homeowner that it's not that we're giving her the runaround.
Yeah.
Because he already paid us.
Yeah.
But he's not getting paid by the homeowner.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that he has all the documents and he's making the homeowner comfortable.
Sure.
So at this point, we're escalating it and making sure that he's hearing it from a higher power.
Yeah.
So, he's getting everything involved and so forth. Long story shorter, it was a disaster. There was an issue with the shipping and so forth, nothing that we could have controlled.
Yeah.
Eventually, it was about 3 months into it before the right door came in and we were able to install it.
Wow.
Free of charge. Got it done.
We got it done free of charge.
Yeah.
And we reimbursed him for the whole job.
Yeah.
Because that was the right thing to do.
Wow.
And we apologize for it.
So 2 weeks later, he calls us back.
Yeah.
Thanking us and saying that was something unbelievable, that he didn't expect something from us and just completely had a lot of respect for us.
Wow.
And he had a bigger job for us.
Wow.
And we did it, and it went out without a problem.
Right.
Now, I put in the notes there on that job. This job will go well. From start to finish.
Yeah, exactly. No issue.
Now we've done several jobs with that customer, and he's now our customer because we did the right thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard. And in this community, you should always, we talk about it's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
Yeah.
And everything that you do, from your point of sale, from your director of first impressions, to thanking them for their services and allowing us to take care of their project, that's important. Being there for your customer and doing the right thing is what will set somebody apart. It's not always, not everything's going to go great.
Right.
But when you do the right thing,
Yeah.
Each and every time, and that's in your heart from the start to the end, that's how you get customers. And I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think that if we're all on the same page, from our director of first impressions to the guys that go out into the field, all the way up to, and guys are looking. So you've got to live that and lead that and believe that, and then make sure that your team is on board with that. That's your mission. We talk about what our mission statement is to provide a quality product and quality customer service for an affordable price. That's the simple thing. The behind the scenes things, there's many things that are involved that go into the process of completing a proper floor removal. But those simple things, if you want to be successful and you don't want to be a part of that statistic that you just said, that failing statistic,
That's right.
do the little things well and make sure that your customer is always number one.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can't control the circumstances of what will happen. Mistakes will happen, but you can control how you frame that, what it means to you, how you react to that, and how you overcome it. So that's the big part of it.
And 90% of the time, people understand mistakes happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you do about the mistake and how you handle it.
Exactly.
That's your opportunity to either shine or just,
That's right.
it's a failure.
Absolutely. The website, bottomzupp.com, bottomzupp.com, bottomzupp.com. Rick Nickerson, Hilda Huertas, pleasure again, as always. We thank so much to our team out there, our listeners, our viewers on our TV show on Apple, Amazon, Roku, all of our listeners, our viewers out there. Check us out, consumerqb.com, and please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up some leftover food, handing it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.